Our healthcare teams at VGH, UBC Hospital, and the GF Strong Rehab Center deliver the most specialized healthcare in our province for every imaginable illness and medical condition.
We're part of the team that delivers the best of health in British Columbia.
We work alongside of doctors and nurses to provide a high level of quality care relative to the assessment, treatment, and prevention of injury, disability, and disease.
We save people's lives.
It's our responsibility to help people to regain what injury, disease, or disability may take away.
So many teams from different divisions and disciplines work together to provide the very best care for every patient.
It's incredible how many individuals and families are touched by their expertise. Here's just one story of many.
I'm a structural and interventional cardiologist. What we do is treat structural heart disease, so structural problems with the heart, not the blood vessels that supply blood to the heart, but actual problems with the heart valves, holes in the heart. That traditionally has been treated with open heart surgery. The problem is high-risk people who have other medical conditions that make them more risky for regular open heart surgery didn't really have a viable option. That all changed in 2005 when Dr. John Webb at St. Paul's Hospital pioneered a procedure to go through the leg, take a catheter, drive it through the big aorta, and then have a collapsed valve, just like the valves that are put in with open heart surgery, on a balloon that then we drive into place, and with rapid pacing of the heart and in a team environment, we open up the balloon, the new valve expands, pushes the old calcified restricted valve out of the way immediately, and starts working. Valory Craske just happened to be the first patient that we accepted for the procedure at Vancouver General Hospital.
My name is Valory Craske, and I'm 80 years old. For years I've volunteered on the downtown east side, trying to help the people in my community. I had to give up much of my volunteer work because of the problems with my heart. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started getting where I was just tired all the time, and it just kept on and on and on. And if I went and to do anything, even shopping, for groceries or something, I was just beat when I got home. So I started seeing doctors one after the other, But nothing was happening, and that's all I was doing, was getting up, going to the doctor, coming back home. I didn't know where it was all going to end. I remember the first time I met Dr. Wood. He came in and he sat down and he started talking to me, and that's the first time I had seen him. And he was asking me all of these questions, are you having a problem with the heart? And it's like he knew everything. And at that particular time, I didn't know that he knew everything, because that's the first time I've laid eyes on him. And he said, Valory, I think we're going to have to do something about this, He said, I'm going to get a whole bunch of tests done for you, and then we're going to go from there. And he says, and it'll be quick.
This condition in someone like Valory, the valve is significantly narrowed and restricted. Without getting enough blood, you start feeling short of breath, pressure in the chest, not enough energy to do the things you want to do. Often you find that perhaps your thinking isn't as clear, because again, you're not getting enough blood to the head. When
I got onto the gurney that day, I was still talking to Dr. Wood, and I remember he said something to me, and I started to answer him. The next thing I know, I was waking up on the operating table. They had put me out.
I'm a clinical anesthesiologist at Vancouver General Hospital. I specialize in cardiac and thoracic anesthesia. Anesthesia is much more than putting a patient to sleep. It is much more about the care of the patient in support of their organ systems, their breathing function, their heart function during and after surgery, to ensure safe and optimal outcomes. Working with Dr. Wood and his team of interventional cardiologists is a very exciting and innovative opportunity for us.
This is dramatically different than doing regular coronary intervention. The stakes are obviously higher, so you have to have an excellent team in place. But once you've actually replaced the valve, these people derive amazing benefit. Mrs. Craske was woken up on the table. She was taken to the cardiac care unit. She was chatting an hour and a half later, and she was actually walking around in the cardiac care unit later that day. I took a picture of her actually the next morning. She was all dressed up, ready to go home, but I forced her to stay an extra day, so she actually waited 2 days in hospital before she went back to her house.
I woke up and he said, "Good girl," or something like that, you know. We got it done and no problems. And the people outside it was like it was New Year's Eve. They were all yelling, and because it means so much, you know, to everybody that comes after this. It means so much to their life. If it works for me, it'll work for anybody.
The reason we're also excited about this procedure, not just cardiology and cardiac surgery, but I think the whole medical community, is that not only is this exciting for patients now, but it's extremely exciting for patients in the future. The hope and where we're moving with this technology is that we're using next generation valves. So smaller valves, different delivery systems. We're having access to them in British Columbia 12 to 24 months before the rest of the world. So it's very exciting.
The team component is such a crucial part of the care of these patients because no specialty can care optimally for these kinds of patients as individuals, and if we function as a team, the outcomes are better. It's so rewarding to see a patient like this come through a procedure that would not have been possible for her just a few years ago, and now with the collaboration with the other individuals caring for this patient, to see her recover without any complications, that's the real reward.
I'm really looking forward to going back to my volunteer work now that I've had this procedure taken care of. If you've got money to donate, you can't get a better place to go do it at, is right there, you know. And if it gives another person a chance to live a few more years, then that's important.
Donors are going to be critical as this program moves forward. We're at kind of a crossroads right now where we're kind of going into the next phase of evolution of this technology. Without that support, it's going to be very difficult for not only Vancouver but British Columbia to continue to lead the world in this kind of pioneering field.
Our healthcare teams are able to provide the much needed care that they do because of funding from government and contributions from very generous donors.
The vision, expertise, and goodwill of our dedicated donors, community leaders, and world-class medical experts is second to none. It will continue to enable us to accomplish even greater things for patients and their families in this province, things that would otherwise not be possible.